Hello again from Aniverse. We're back with weekly Shonen recap, and man, what a week this has been for manga fans. So let's get started. We'll begin with One Piece chapter 1079. We never thought we'd get to see the red-haired pirate in action, and what a treat it was to witness. Chapter justifies its name, the Red-Haired Pirates and Emperor's Crew. Cover of chapter 1079 of One Piece features Luffy watering a lion, mistaking it for a sunflower. It's much sillier than the previous Mad Neo's cover we got to see last week. Chapter opened up to just a few hours earlier with Punk York speaking to the Seraphim and enjoying her meat. The problem she faces is that the world government wants to erase all of her Vegapunks and will be looking to eliminate her too. So she comes up with a plan to save herself from all this trouble. She starts her plan by ordering the Seraphim to handle everyone else since the Frontier Dome was now closed. They are free to kill everyone except her, Stella, underground hostages, and the Cypher Pole agents. Each of the Seraphims confirms the order, and we could see all of them can in fact speak. Knowing she is weak and will be doomed if she gets caught, York orders S-Snake to petrify her in front of the others, then undo it once they're gone. The last few panels of flashback show York mentioning areas of the lab that they shouldn't damage. In the present, we see S-Snake rushing somewhere after hunting her target. Meanwhile, many inhabitants of Egghead Island would rush onto a ship in hopes of fleeing, while the newer model Pacifistas continued their preparations. As if the events of Egghead Island weren't crazy enough, we see a ship looming close to Egghead Island bearing the Jolly Roger of the Blackbeard Pirates. Scene then shifts to outside of Elbaf. Kid and his crew were in the midst of facing Shank and his forces. It's here that we get our first look at Shank's fleet. Padded Toe Girotini, captain of the Puddle Pirates, Gravetooth Fugger, captain of the Social Club Pirates, and lastly, Panicky Pururu, princess of the Bourgeois Pirates. Adequate to say these guys weren't exactly an intimidating display, they were so lame that Kid had to question if they were still the New World. Shanks then instructed his forces to clear their ships out of the way. He doesn't want anyone on his side to get hurt. Shanks admits that his trip to Elbaf was intended to be a quick one, but he lost track of time and now he has to deal with a big shot like Kid. Once he was aboard, we see Lime Juice and Lucky Roo claiming they'll handle the Kid Pirates. But Shanks reminded them that despite his young age, Kid is worth a 3 billion berry bounty. To Yasopp, Shanks asks a question if Kid's wounds from Wano have already healed. And Yasopp confirmed that Kid looks fine and is eager for a fight. With that, Shanks was willing to deal with Kid. But first, Shanks is more interested in Blackbeard's whereabouts. They don't have anything on him. Shanks had assumed Blackbeard would show his face in Wano, but he didn't. That explains why red-haired pirates were in Wano to begin with. Hongo tosses over the intel of Kid to his captain. We then see Killer telling his boss that there are 9 ships and plenty of them. He recognizes from the bounty poster. Kid says he doesn't give a damn and will take them out in 10 seconds. Yeah, sure kid, you'll do that. He then prepares his final move, Damned Punk, an attack so powerful that he used to take down Big Mom. Shanks senses the destructive power of that move and rushes to stop Kid, ordering his fleet to move ships and asking Dory and Brogy for help. And for the first time, we get to see the true ability of Shanks. We'd get a glimpse of the future Shanks saw from his haki. It was a total massacre. Several ships would be destroyed at the same time. Ben Beckman could tell that the future he saw must have been pretty bad. Shanks then leaps towards Kid's ship and uses Divine Departure move, so powerful that knocked out most of Kid's crew and absolutely annihilated their captain. Kid and his crew were done for. Shanks, with a single move, took down a pirate who helped to take down 2 Yonkos not so long ago. Rest of the Kid pirates begged for their captain's life in exchange for the road phonoglyphs, but Shanks isn't interested in them for now. He simply leapt away, letting Dory and Brogy get their job done. The 2 giants swung their axes, violating Kid's pirates and destroying their ship in 2. A pirate worth 3 billion was utterly destroyed. Man, I love this chapter, letting everyone know who the OG red-haired pirate is and why they fear him so much. Next, we move on to One Punch Man chapter 181, titled Unascertained. opened with the Hero Association dealing with the tremors that were occurring all across a city. As the tremors started to get bigger, Forte, who was in the hospital, decided to deal with the problem if monsters were causing it. Upon opening the window, he saw Saitama crashing into the hospital building. Saitama asked Forte about his injuries and advised him to stay in bed for a while before heading back into the action. Forte was shocked by the level of destruction outside, so he decided that his rematch with Saitama can wait for a while. The Blizzard group reached the fight's location as they were shocked by the level of destruction caused by Tatsumaki letting loose her powers. One of the members tries to inform headquarters and gets shocked while looking at his watch. The focus then shifts to the fight as Tatsumaki can be seen panting while she fights Saitama. She was the one who was supposed to test Saitama, but she ended up miscalculating her output limits. As up until now, Blast was the only hero able to challenge Tatsumaki outside a life or death battle against a villain, but Saitama was different. Tatsumaki then tried to trap Saitama by twisting the ground on him, creating a dome of dust and rocks. However, he got out effortlessly unharmed. Saitama could see how Tatsumaki had started staggering and asked her not to push herself and leave enough strength for talking. Tatsumaki found this to be insulting and wanted to blast him out to space using her powers, but to her surprise, she was only able to levitate him above the ground. Saitama then taunts her how a mere acquaintance of Fubuki is stopping her. Keeping Saitama afloat was tiring and taking a lot of stamina, and a few moments Tatsumaki happened to faint away. She then gets flashback of her time with Blast. He had asked her to protect her family, following which she tried to rescue Fubuki. However, as Fubuki witnessed Tatsumaki fight the group, she got scared of her older sister, which triggered her Esper powers. We then see her and Blast for a couple of panels as she tries to find answers for Blast. That's when she woke up to Saitama and his shining bald head in front of her. Saitama appreciated Tatsumaki for honing such strong powers. He advises Tatsumaki to live a life that befits her. However, if she wanted to rampage, she must make sure not to break other people's stuff. He pats her on her head, just as Blast did, and was on his way when Fubuki arrived. Fubuki, upon listening to Tatsumaki's advice, had disbanded the Blizzard group. She says from now on she'll fight alone, just like her sis, but they followed her. Tatsumaki was about to attack them, but Fubuki took that role. Fubuki asked her ex-comrades how they were meaning to fight Tornado of Terror when they weren't even strong enough to defeat her. That's when Saitama requested Tatsumaki to let the Blizzard group be with Fubuki. While they are weak for now, there was no saying how strong they would get in the future. Upon hearing his request, Tatsumaki stopped Fubuki and let the Blizzard group serve their leader again. Before the chapter ended, Tatsumaki threatened the Blizzard group again and informed Saitama that she could take another surprise test in the future. Saitama wanted nothing to do with it. This amazed Fubuki and the Blizzard group as they wondered how Saitama managed to convince Tatsumaki. Chapter ends with the Blizzard group member who had seen something shocking earlier reported it to Fubuki. It has a classic One Punch Man chapter mix of both humor and action with some great illustrations. Now we'll cover Black Clover. As part of Black Clover's 8th anniversary, Weekly Shonen Jump had Asta on the cover of its latest issue of the magazine. We even got a colored cover starring many of the series' famous characters. Chapter 355, Tilted Prince of Stars, opened where the previous chapter left off. Yami is seen calling out to Jack, thinking that he has already passed away. That's when the Golden Dawn captain, William, showed up, immediately attacking Lucius. William had always been grateful for Julius, thus he wanted to stop Lucius from using Julius's body, even if it meant giving up his own life. As William charges towards Lucius, the later one casts a spell on William, causing his body to crumble. The name of the spell is not mentioned in the manga, but by judging the nature of the spell, it's a time magic that accelerates the disintegration of the body. Lucius then claims, "You people do not have power to defy me." He then activated some large level enchantment, using what looks like an angel that he had sent flying in the previous chapter. He then prepares to give the final judgment as those angel-looking creatures fly over the Clover Kingdom, radiating a light over the citizens in preparation for an overpowered attack. Citizens of the Clover Kingdom were taken aback by the magnitude of the attack, thinking there's no way someone could stop it and protect them. As countless light beams were showering from the sky, citizens looked up with no hopes. That's when Yuno arrived and used his star magic to save the Clover Kingdom all by himself. Yami was in complete awe that Yuno could stop such an attack all by himself and was impressed by the growth shown by Yuno over the last year. William, the captain of Golden Dawn, was also in awe of Yuno and was certain that his vice captain had surpassed him. As a result, he appoints him as the new captain of Golden Dawn. Yuno then gets flashbacks of Asta and sister Lily and his siblings from Hage Village. Yuno then says, "I can't forgive you, but I'm not here to defeat you, because I can't forgive you. I'm here because I'm the man who will become the Wizard King." His bandages start coming off. Lucius acknowledges Yuno and wants to crush him to complete his plans. This chapter showed the full extent of Yuno's strength as he was able to stop a large-scale onslaught of Lucius all on his own, using his star magic. While everyone knew that Yuno was strong, the fact that he had become stronger than the Magic Knight captains was amazing. All 3 manga of this week were amazing and left fans eager for the next issue. Until then, signing out, Aniverse.